And we're just going to take a moment to close down the eyes and just anchor in. Today's a bit about creativity. So I just want to anchor in and just shake off the morning, a little bit of a shake. We've all arrived. If you've got glasses on, just take your glasses off. Get that flow happening. Nice big stretch the spine. I know a lot of us have been sitting in front of computers for the last few weeks and it's been shaking it all off. Beautiful. And now just coming back to center and just focusing on your breath, just your normal breath for the moment. Just gently coming in through the nose. And then just gently going out through the nose. And as you're breathing in through the nose, calling in beautiful creative energy. Feeling it going through your body like sparkles to every cell, every fiber of your body. Feeling it clear away any preconceptions or thoughts or ideas from the outside. Now, I'd like you to bring, I know that you're all working on offers, free opt-ins, websites, that sort of thing. But for this particular workshop this morning, I'd like you to think of a particular offer that you're working on, whether it's a free event or free offer or a paid program or offer that you've been working on for this program with Katie and myself. And just bringing that particular brand, that particular offer into your eyes, mind. I want you to just start to think of that particular offer and all the different components, all the different things that you've been working on to bring it to life. Then when you've got that and you're feeling pretty good about it, just invite you to gently open your eyes and just write down in your notebook that offer, the name of that offer. And then if you feel called to, you could share it with us in the chat so we can all see the name of that offer. Just drop it in the chat. And then I can see what you're all working on as well, because some of you I haven't worked with. Reconnecting to breath beautifully, love it. Cycle love, love it. Georgie, I've been calling you Georgie. I don't know why, but I hope that's okay. I hope you're not offended. Danny is, I was going to call you yoga, Danny. Monthly moon meditations, beautiful. Shay's value-based activism for yoga teachers. Kylie's sacred sadhana, beautiful. Susie, reconnect with restorative yoga. Rabia's conversations with your higher self, the Mukti process, beautiful. Taylor's rebirthing breath work, a transformation journey. I love that. And Megan, we're just dropping in as you're dropping in. She's not quite connected yet. The offers that we're working on, the particular offers that we're working on, because we're going to workshop some branding for this offer. Lisa's got sacred rest and self-care. And Susie's advertising for her weekly classes as well. Beautiful. We've got everyone. Kate Online Shakti Yoga Series. Beautiful.
I can just say mine just because I'm driving.
You're driving, go for it, Anna.
Connect with heart meditation.
Connect with heart. I'm going to connect with heart. I'm going to type it in for you so we can visually see it. Connect with heart.
I don't know whether to say connect with heart guided meditation or connect with heart meditation. Anyway, because this one will be guided.
We'll see. See what works. We'll see what works for you, what comes out at the end. Tara, heart temple, reconnecting. It keeps popping up. Heart temple, reconnecting to the art of your heart on your fertility journey. Beautiful. Trudy, awaken with breath. Megan, the question was, where are you? Where is your face? I think you're hidden. The question was, oh, there you are. There you are down the bottom. Hello, welcome. The question was, what is the offer that we're working on? We're workshopping an offer and it's branding this morning. So everybody's just dropping in the particular offer. It could be one of your free lead generation or lead magnets, your opt-ins, or it could be one of your paid programs as well. So drop one that you would like to workshop a little bit this morning with us. Okay, so that is amazing. We've got lots of beautiful offers. I can really feel the feminine energy, actually, the real Shakti energy coming out of all of these offers, which is gorgeous. Megan, bloom into mother or flow forward. Okay, beautiful. Love it. Love bloom into mother. Love it for what you do. Gorgeous. Okay, I've got everybody now. Amazing. Okay, now that we've got our offer, what I invite you to do is just jot down. Now, let me go back a little step. Today's session is about branding, so beautiful branding, and in particular, branding your offers. So the offers that we've jotted down is what we're going to work with today. And before we get stuck into it, I'd love to just share with you some examples of what I've mean. So we've talked, and I know, most of us have got our businesses and we've got our branding, we've got our logos, we've got our fonts. So I'm not talking about that sort of branding. What I'm talking about is a beautiful brand energy and brand essence of a particular offering. So when we think about, so we all know Katie, we all know her businesses, Bhakti Rose and Bhakti Business. So I'll use those as a first example. Each of Katie's offerings, whether it's a free offering or a paid offering, has its own unique brand and energy and vibe. Okay, love that word at the moment. It's just so, everyone's throwing the vibe around. So when we think of Ayurveda goddess, what comes to mind? For those of you that know Katie's Ayurveda goddess, what comes to mind? I'll start, what comes to mind is femininity, sparkle, roses. Okay, some of these things that come to mind when you think of Katie's Ayurveda goddess. Embodiment, absolutely, embodying the beautiful practices of Ayurveda. Bit edgy, bit sparkly, yep, definitely. Now think about Katie's online, the business program. So a little bit different. So the business program, so Katie's business program, what comes to mind when you think of that? The business program that we are in at the moment. So for me, what comes to mind is getting unstuck, moving forward, growth, support, encouragement, being held, some of those things. And I want to show you another one of both mine and Katie's mentors, seeing clearly into my creating. It's like the older sister. Growth and support. Absolutely. Beautiful. Love all of that. So you can see that there's a couple of that same person, pretty much the same business. Like Katie is the same person and she's running two businesses, not little, they'd be quite big businesses, two businesses side by side. But within those businesses, there are different programs that have got their own unique energy, their own unique brand. And why this is important is we associate the offers and the business and the person by those emotions and those feelings that branding is creating for us. And that sort of anchors it into our mind, and that will work at helping us make a decision as to whether we want to work with that person and purchase that offer, if it's right for us. And I want to share with you another mentor. So Victoria Washington, you would all know that Katie has done a lot of work with Victoria Washington, and I've done some of her programs as well. And she is the master of this. She creates brands within brands, but all under the one umbrella. So I'm just going to share with you her website. So this is Victoria Washington. So she started off with the House of We, which is her wealth embodiment. So it's a wealth embodiment brand, where I'm just going to click over. So it's to help women revolutionize their financial freedom, basically. Okay, so we can have a look at this here. It's all about embodying this energy of wealth, abundance. She's got this beautiful little icon here, which is a little bee, busy bee, a representation of abundance. She uses this particular font that's a little bit edgy, that's a little bit different, but she's using a really simple font there to get the message across. She's got, a completely, it feels spaciousness. It's quite feminine. Okay, so you can see that brand there. It's black and white, like a lot of it is black and white. There's not a lot of color. It's like black, white, and then you've got this little bee that's gold, pretty much. Okay, then we move over to her. I'm just going to move you all down there. Then we move over to her. Okay, so this is her business school, her CEO program. You can see it's very different. It's got, it's bright green. She's in like an orange, whatever that material is called. I can't remember what it's called, but this orange outfit, this suit. She's got these really funky glasses on. So she's very different and has a very different look, but you can tell that it's still Victoria Washington because she's tying it together with this black background, white font. She's just using a different font and different imagery. So it's got its own unique, and then when you read through the copy as well, like you get a real vibe of the copy, will actually, bring you into the energy of this. It's like this, CEO boss of your own, business. So that's this real power in this feminine business entrepreneurial model. So being the CEO, your voice and your vision. So this program is all about your voice and your vision, your strategy behind your business. So you can see it's very different to her curriculum there. And then another example is the dark room. So this is her dark room, which is her visual storytelling, social media type training, marketing. And this is very, it's very indie, very edgy rock, like it's kind of indie rock type vibe, if that's the right way to describe it. So you can see, again, you can still see that it's Victoria Washington from, the vibe and the fonts and the black on the white and that sort of thing, but you've got the very different imagery and it's got a whole different energy to it. Okay, so that's a bit of an example, another example of how we can create individual brands within our big umbrella brand. I'm just going to check the chat here. Sandra's dropped in seller readiness assessment tool. Great. Susie, yeah, she's quite edgy, a bit of a gothic vibe, a bit of an indie rock kind of vibe. So she's bringing that whole, she's got the golden thread that you can see coming through that it's Victoria Washington, which is her main sort of I am Victoria Washington brand. And then she's got each offer has its own unique brand. And even her free offerings have their own unique brand. And if you think back, I think most of you came through Online Success with Katie and I. That was a very intentional branding for us. And we said we want this free offering to be an offering on its own. We want people to get great value from this offering. It is a lead generation. It's a lead generation offering. It's going to lead into the program that we're in now. But we wanted it to have its own unique branding. So we chose we chose some colors, and literally the color from the background of that I took a photo of one of my dresses that I just bought in India, and it was the print from that dress that we used as the background to everything. And then we worked through the words that we described it, who we were serving, what we were going to offer, what were some of the things that we're going to use to create the social media content, the branding and whatnot to bring it all together. And then with my recent as well, my recent Peri Glow campaign that I had, I just did a free offering in my other business, and that it had its own brand and energy, which then flowed into my Marigold membership. So you can see that there's a whole sort of intentional way of branding our offers, whether they're free or paid, sorry. So is there any questions? So Trudy, Victoria, Washington, Egypt, Warrior Priestess, Nectar of Life, Women's Business. Yep, very millennium in vibe and dark room, a younger energy. Yep, she's definitely got a younger energy, but she's attracting old hippies like Katie and I, which is really interesting. Katie and I laughed. We said, wouldn't it be fun to go to the Kajabi do an annual conference in California? And I was like, maybe we'd meet Victoria. Katie's like, should it be her nightmare? These two hippies coming up with children hanging off them and, smelling like patchouli. Hi, Victoria. She's so like prim and proper. Anyway, quite funny. So it's really interesting, but she gets great results, and she gets a whole big mix of people into her. But her main target is entrepreneurial women and supporting them to, build their business, and be the CEO of their business. So I think it's amazing. And when we think of, there are a lot of other people in the industry. You can even, just go through some of the people that you follow on social media. Have a think about some of the offers that you've bought recently, and intentionally go back and look at the pathway that they have created for you to get to that place of purchase, and then the own unique, and you'll see that everything has got that own sort of unique branding to package up that particular offer. So having said all of that, I would love for you now to come back to your offer and think about what are 3 to 5 words or phrases that describe your offer and what you're going to be selling or offering for free. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to have a little think about that and just jot them down. If you feel like you would like to drop them in the chat as well as you're going and share them with us, that would be amazing when you're ready as well. Beautiful. We've got some things coming into the chat now. Susie's got restore your body, reconnect with your breath, and reset your whole being. Harmonious yoga with Susie. Beautiful. Sandra's got clarity, perspective, decision making, emotions. Beautiful. Shay's got practical, empowered, clarity, active, doing vibe, connected. Love it. Action comes to mind for you as well, Shay. Tara's got compassionate, supportive, creative, explorative, feminine, empowering connection. Megan's got, I will provide a group coaching experience running for 4 to 6 weeks that reconnects new mothers back to their true essence, their Shakti prana, their voice, their creativity, their unique sense of style, their ability to flow forward into motherhood rather than trying to bounce back to her old maiden self. Yeah, because she's changed. Yeah, well, the words that you've gone that little bit further to sort of explain it, but that's fine. Yeah, beautiful. Those words, you know, their true essence, their voice, their creativity. That's what we're looking for, those beautiful words. Anna's got heart energy, calm, peace, stillness, bliss, clarity. Spicy eggs. Love it, Shay. That pitta. Want spicy. Surprise, surprise. Guided, conscious, spiritual self practices for connected, embodied, grounded reclamation. Beautiful, Kylie. Beautiful. So now we've got some words happening. The next thing I'd like you, and this will flow on, some of you have already sort of starting to explain that what is the energy of your offer? Like, can you articulate what the energy of your offer is and what that is going to bring to those people that you're serving? So Kate's got womb energy, embodiment, devotional connection, sensual, expressive community. Lee's got wholeness, heal thyself, heart-centered. So when you think about, you know, all of those words and the offering whole, like what is that energy that it's bringing? Megan, the energy is high vibe, radiant, feminist, nurturing, and joyful. Love it. Rabia's seeing, unblocking, knowing, intuitive, feminine, connection, breaking free, breaking away, freeing up, seeing yourself. And all these words are going to be really great for you to keep these words in your notebook. So you can then, as you're writing your copy for your offers, your email sequences for your offers, your sales emails, your social media, these are some of the words that you're going to start to use and throw into your copy as well. So think about that too, like think about just keeping them there, and then they'll be the words that you'll start to be able to sprinkle and sparkle around your all of your content creation, all of your content marketing, your copy. Susie, reconnection, beautiful. Danny is feminine and mystical. Kylie's open and receptive. Lisa's supportive, loving, nourished, intentional, connected, calm, relaxed, grounded. Love it. And if you're having trouble, if you ever have trouble with this, think back to those, you know, your dream clients and those people that you're already working with, and what are some of the words that they use to describe their experience with you when they work with you as well. That's another way you know, that's sort of coming in from the back end, thinking about what are people already saying about you, you know, what is it they love about working with you. Taylor's kin and gentle, kind. I was going to say, that you meant kin as in my, you know, my family. Gentle energy, kind, beautiful, soft. Love that. Kate is radiant aliveness. Oh, I like that, Kate. That's beautiful. Radiant aliveness, really. And that really connects to that Shakti yoga that you're teaching and sharing. Shay's also sure and direct. Yeah. And I think another one as well for what you're offering, Shay, would be confidence, you know, that real confident energy as well, bringing that, letting them feel confident in sharing and being activists. Beautiful. Susie's delicious. Is that too risky? Not at all. I use delicious in my branding. Deliciously creative is what, you know, I use that word. It's not too risky at all. Okay, awesome. Now, Rabia's got energy, spiritual, divine, feminine, beautiful, restorative, powerful, trusting, nurturing, returning to radiance, empowering. Beautiful. Now think about the next question or the next prompt is, can we articulate who it is that we are serving with this offer? Who is that person that we're serving with this offer? Kate's noticing that she loves the word erotic, but that feels risky, as how I perceive erotic seems different from most. Yeah, I think in the in the mainstream, it's, we think about whips and chains as erotic. That's what sort of comes to mind because that's what we've been fed. Our generation, like that's what we've been fed, that it's dirty and it's naughty and it's risky, all of that. Whereas we know that it's not in that divine feminine Shakti yoga sense. So maybe there's some education and content around that you can lead your audience and your community towards understanding what that word is when it comes to Shakti yoga. So that's something you could sort of think about. How can you bring that, change that perception a little bit? Megan, I get so confused, Edwina, with this. I don't want to go woo-woo and scare off mothers. Would hear Shakti Prana and think, oh, what the fuck is this? Yeah. It's one of those things where, yes, we want to make sure that we're speaking. So the women that you're reaching may not understand what Shakti is. Absolutely. And that's where you really need to think about who it is that you're actually serving, and then using language that will resonate for them, that's not too Sanskrity or esoteric, but you can definitely bring those words into your work, because I do, but I always explain what that means and educate in those posts. So thinking about to when we're writing our copy and creating our content, we've got we've got those 4 different types of content. We've got the attraction content, which is where we're probably not going to use as much of that language. Then we've got our educational content where we can use that language and educate people around what it is. We've got our nurturing content, which we can use that language. And then we've got our sales content where we're going to use more sales specific language. Okay, so and talking to what this particular offer is going to support the person with, and how it's going to help them. See, when you sort of start to clearly think about those different content strategies and different content types, you can tweak your language in that regard. Did you have a question, Megan?
Yeah, that makes it more clear for me, I think. Thinking about what sort of content am I actually trying to achieve with this piece of content? So if it's a marketing email, I'd be very specific about, if I bring up the word Shakti Prana, that I give some context. Or if it was a piece at the top of my funnel in Instagram, if I was to package up my offer and use that word, it would have to be very explanatory. Because it's a fine line, because I don't want to scare people off, and yet I don't want people in my program either who aren't interested in the spiritual world, because I want to go there in my offerings, and I don't want to be forever in my program being like, oh, don't worry, it's not too woo-woo. I don't want to go there. Like, it is woo-woo. Like, that's what it actually is. So I don't want to dilute it either, but I get what you just said about, like, if it's a sales thing, keep it generic enough to be understood. And then in your nurturing, that's where you go into your education.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you really get clear on and be really intentional and with a strategy, what you're actually sharing, then that's when you can really start to be specific. And I think as well, think about, that woman, that new mum that, doesn't really know what Shakti is, doesn't really know what sadhana is, doesn't know what these things, but she's open to that. So you definitely are speaking to that person that's open to that. And I would definitely, not diminish the fact that, woo-woo is great. Like, we want the woo-woo, and that's what you need to talk about. It's like, we're going to go woo-woo. We're going to talk about your Shakti Prana. We're going to talk about your spiritual practice. And this is what that looks like. For example, in some of my content, like I talk a lot, one of the pillars in my Marigold membership is sadhana, but I go on and explain that that's a conscious spiritual practice, and there's magic in the mundane. It's about having your, making your tea in the morning with conscious, making that a conscious spiritual practice. And I go into explaining what that is. And I always explain in each of my posts as well. And people
Yeah,
start
same.
to understand.
You
And
make it like bring it into layman's terms, like you mention the term and then bring it into a layman's term so that she can see that she's already got some of those practices.
yeah.
I just feel in the motherhood space, like a lot of girls just want, I feel like, I mean, this could be a projection, but I feel like a lot of mums, there's sort of two types. There's the ones that want the beige and they're just like, they want the nursery stuff and the Montessori. And then there are the ones who are struggling and need some help and want to have real talk. And I want them to come to me for that. I want to talk about the real stuff. So I also think, like, do I talk about postnatal depression or is that too downer? Like it's tricky, this talking to this particular space, I feel.
It is a little bit tricky sometimes, but I would definitely, you want those women that you can help when, you really think, it's okay to really niche even further. Okay. So you've got your early motherhood stage. That's, you think that's a niche, but then when you break it down, it's like, yeah, you're right. You've got the ones that are just all sort of beige on Instagram and for the show and doing this in their bike pants and their crop tops, which is nothing wrong with that. And they want to get back into,
They
bounce
want to bounce back,
that.
but
Exactly.
I'm doing flow forward
And you want to do that flow forward. So you
into
want
your awakening.
want to sit around the table and actually get deep and meaningful and talk about their postnatal depression and talk about, all of that sort of stuff. So that's how you got to channel your messaging and really niche into to speak to that woman and don't worry about those other women.
And do you reckon when I'm in the nurturing phase, like the email marketing, that I actually talk about that? Like, this is real talk. We're going to get into where you're struggling, where this has been hard. Yeah.
Absolutely. Remember that you're attracting them in at the top of the funnel with your Instagram, and then you can get even deeper and more nurturing with your emails.
Yeah.
And share in those emails as well. You're sharing your own personal experiences as well. That's going to help them connect and relate to you. Somebody said they wanted to jump in there for a second.
Yeah, that was just me. I was just going to say, look, I think what's beautiful about the age we're living in is that these things are becoming more normalized. Like even yesterday when we were talking about perimenopause and like, so I think depression, it's we have to sort of take away the mystique or the taboo of it. And definitely. I think it's beautiful what you're doing because it's such
that's exactly what I want to do. I find that when online, it's like, I find that people will talk, but when I'm doing school drop off and pick up, it's like no one actually talks IRL. No one's talking in real life about the real stuff. No one wants to talk about it face to face because it's probably a bit too much. So that's where I'm coming from. And I'm always that person to like go, oh, well, this is really shit. And I really think that that's going to be changed. I'm going to do something, like I'll be that person at school, in the schoolyard. And that's the kind of energy I want to bring, the sort of leadership I want to bring to the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can definitely do that with your messaging and the way that you're sharing. And that's what you use that word. It's like, I want to get down and dirty. I want to talk about the real issues. Like, we're not about fluff here. We're not about just talking about, oh, I got this, new pram and la, 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 la. Like, it's not about that. It's about, we really want to get down and get some real inner healing, and you have the power to sort of flow forward into motherhood and make this transition, because it's a hard transition. And I wish I had matrescence and that when I was there, like in postnatal depression, and like I was lucky I had good friends that were the same and we all held each other. And that's what you're trying to create, that beautiful circle and holding space and bringing each other up. Beautiful. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Woo-woo is deep and real. Absolutely. Sankalpa, setting an intention for your practice or day or life. Absolutely. That's the difference between flowing forward. That's gold. Absolutely. And use that. I like that, Shay, because that's what you'll use in your messaging and your marketing and your branding. It's like the difference between what I do. It's not about the bounce back. It's about the flow forward. And this is what that means. And educating about what that means in your programs. Trudy, for women moving through transitions of life, change coming in, death, birth, work, change, relationships would be working with beliefs, values, ethics that you are blocking you. Yeah, beautiful. Kylie's working with sacred suddenness serves those who are ready to turn chaos into calm, using what's not working and creating space to return to receive in ways that serve you in sacredness. Beautiful. And think about as well, like with sacred sudden, as I said before, it's like, I'm thinking about your audience and are they going to understand what that means? And do you need to just take it that little bit further and just explain a little bit what is sacredness and articulate what is sadhana, as well. You can expand on that for sure. And I'm serving busy working mums who are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, seeking clarity, calm, and connection with divine higher self. Beautiful. Danny's a meditation for the soul, sacred and playful. Serving women in their 30s who are struggling with grief around fertility and loss. Amazing. So I love this space. And what I also want to highlight is like we're all working in this sort of yoga healing space, but we're all bringing such a different energy and serving different people with what we've got to offer. Okay. And you can see how we can all, there's room for all of our little offerings and big offerings. Tara, okay, I've read that. Okay, beautiful. So now that we've got some words that are going to describe our offer, the energy of our offer, who we're serving, this is where we're going to get into the visuals of it. So I want you to jot down, and those of you in the Shakti Roadmap, we've done a bit of this in the big branding session we did last week, but thinking about this now, one particular branding, not your whole brand as a whole, but this one particular branding, what are 3 to 5 things that you can picture that would best represent this offering? So think about something from the natural world, something from your wardrobe, your own personal style, something from around your home, and something from your lifestyle. So I'll drop them in the chat so you can remember. So natural world, your wardrobe or style, your home, your lifestyle. And in particular, remembering that focus on this particular offering. No, you can think about things as well, and if they've got a, like a sort of a universal representation. So marigolds, for example, I'm thinking of my own personal brand, represent joy, abundance, fruitfulness, vitality. They're quite a sacred flower across a few different cultures, religions, and nationalities. And that's something that grows in my garden abundantly. Like a lot of stuff gets eaten and killed, but I've always got marigolds popping up somewhere. So to me, there's such a representation of that abundance and just life, so that's why they get used in my branding quite a bit. And I just love flowers. So thinking about that, thinking about your wardrobe, what are the colors that are coming out of your wardrobe? That's going to help you to create a particular color palette or even patterns and icons that you can use that are going to represent this particular offering. When I think of Ayurveda goddess again, I think of glitter and sparkles and roses. So think about that. When I think of Victoria Washington, I think of like high fashion. I think of Chanel handbags, and I think of, edgy fashion with her. Would the image I shared with you yesterday be lifestyle? Yeah, absolutely. So your practices, your rituals, so your mala beads, your duna cover, a throw in your home, a candle, natural world, a mandarin represent the yoni, Yeah, beautiful. Home, selenite and citrine, lifestyle, disco ball. You and your disco ball. I always think of you when I see a disco ball. And that's what we're bringing in, this anchoring the offering and the brand by association. And those of you that have been through the Shakti Roadmap or are in the Shakti Roadmap at the moment will have heard this story, but I have literally had DMs in my Instagram where a woman was shopping in JB Hi-Fi and she saw my pink keyboard, which I feature a lot on my social media, my desk. And she DM'd me. She said, "Oh my God, I saw your pink keyboard in JB Hi-Fi last night. Now I know where to get it. I love it." You know, another lady told me that she planted bougainvillea, a pink bougainvillea in her garden because she loved the bougainvilleas that showed up in my branding. So you can have this, what it starts to create is it starts to create this real, you know, this anchoring by association into your brand. People will remember you, and it's what's going to set you aside from everybody else. Because there's so many yoga teachers on social media. There's so many coaches. There's so many people doing lots of different things. So it's about, how's my offer and my brand going to be remembered? Okay, and attract my ideal customers, my dream clients. Your lifestyle might be, you love the ocean, you love surfing, you like going to the beach. You know, Lee does this a lot with her social media and her brand, you know, sitting by the water, sharing a breathwork practice. It's beautiful. It might be your yoga studio at home. Kate's got a beautiful space at home where she has the Shakti yoga. She's always got that, you know, you're starting to think about that. And then the next step from here is thinking about, as Trudy just said, yeah, an inspirational, like an image that you've got, like a photo that you've taken, you've been out and about, you've got a photo that you love. Like, for example, I've got on my notice board in front of me, I've got this image of Lakshmi, like it's a vintage painting from India of Lakshmi. And I love the colors and the beads and the gold and the sparkle in it, you know, and that brings energy to my brand and to my offerings. I've got, so what do we got here, Kate? Nature, open flowers, basking in sunlight, beautiful. I love that. I can just visualize it. And that really does represent you, like knowing you and your website and your brand and your offerings. Spot on. Gold earrings, beautiful. Lifestyle, candlelight, yeah, fire, oil lamp. Danny's got natural world, is night sky. I love that. Earthy boho dress prints, indoor plants, brass, Lakshmi statue, mala beads, brass candle holder, pillar candle, daily sadhana. Megan's got a question. What if this one is a photo? Oh, my dad. What if this is, sorry, what's the question? What if this one is a photo we don't own?
So remember how you said, like, if there's a picture that you love?
Yeah.
Yours is Lakshmi. I've got a few that I love, but they're not my photos. Does it have to be your photo?
That's fine. This is just for visioning. You know, this is just
for visioning.
vision boarding.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not necessarily going to use this anywhere that you would get in trouble for licensing or whatnot.
Yeah, cool.
This is just a little bit of a practice. So it's exactly that. Those pictures that we've, you know, postcards that we've gotten, you know, something from a magazine that we saw. Like sometimes I'll have like a magazine cover that I just love. And I just love the colors and the vibe and the energy that it brings. Quite often, Katie will send me a couple of, like, she'll just WhatsApp me and just send me a couple of images that she's snapped in a hotel. And once she snapped this tile in a motel room on her way up to Krishna Village. And she's like, "Can you make me a logo with this rose and and this?" You know, so, and I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And we've developed something from that photo, which was a tile in a bathroom. And it was like a 1990s tile, but it was really cool. She sent me in the past when we were doing her branding for Bhakti Business, she sent me a heap of photos. And, you know, one of the photos was a snap of a few of her dresses in her wardrobe that were, you know, the colors that she wanted. So thinking about that, what's Tara got? Flowers and plants, earthy colors and prints, arty, boho, vintage pottery, love it, and retro furniture, love it. travel, yoga, spirituality, cottages, crystals, artwork, culture, temples. Yeah, love it. I love temples and architecture as well. That's why I love India so much. Anissa, switching back to phone as you have to drive again, no problem. You can always catch up on the rest when you get home and pull it all together. Okay, anyone else got anything they would like to share? Next thing I'd like you to start Beverly Hills Hotel, yeah, Palm Springs, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, shows are something as well that can be really inspiring, because we've got, gosh, there's some great series and shows and the sets and the fonts and the cameras, and that really inspires me too. So now, what colors are emerging for you? Bringing all of this together, what sort of colors and textures are emerging for you from this exercise? Just see if you can name those. You know, for me, it's the textures, you know, of embroidered fabric, the textures of a, you know, a beautiful rose quartz crystal, you know, that, and think of the textures that are coming through, and then the colors that are coming through from some of the natural world, the fashion, the clothing, the crystals that you're working with. And drop some of those colors in the chat as you're ready. And then when you've done that, I'd love for you to try and name the style. Shay's got her hand up. Go for it.
It's really loud in this cafe. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. What I'm getting for mine, which is the activism stuff, is like the fierce ocean. And some stuff like that goes with it could be like some rocks I've found and some shells. But that is completely different to my brand that I've developed otherwise. And so I'm just thinking, like, is that a problem? Or maybe I could sort of collage some elements from my brand onto like a seascape, kind of to tie it all together. Because the colors I'm getting are like blue, grey, brown, pale, like sand. And I'm like not at all that in my usual brand that I've come up with.
Yeah, beautiful. And that's Chantel. And that's where we've got, yeah, where an actual offering can have a bit of a different vibe and a different feeling to our overall brand, and that's okay. So you can definitely, so think about the way that you're going to be able to tie it together with your brand is with your fonts, okay, and definitely bringing some of those elements and having a little bit of a play with how can I bring, like, and it doesn't necessarily, so you've brought up that energy and that vibe. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to now go to like a nautical theme and an ocean theme. What you can do is you could just have within your, you know, this particular offering can have like a fierce ocean image. And I can just see that you could do a beautiful graphic that then has your colors over the top of it, your brand fonts, and some of that collage work that you've been doing. And then you're going to, obviously as well, the other golden thread that's going to connect it all together is you and your face as well, and your energy. Does that make sense? Does that help? Yeah, beautiful. What have we got here? They can, Kylie, yes, they can be different from your brand colors. And then thinking about, so I'll give you an example with my yoga and Ayurveda business. The predominant colors I use there are like a pinky color, like an orangey sort of ambery color, and sometimes like a little bit of a blue, like and sort of a yellowy color. But the recent offering that I created, I brought in a lavender to bring in, and I brought in a couple of different shades. So it was still, you know, kind of works with my branding colors as a whole umbrella, but I've just brought in a couple of different colors. I'll give you another example. You might have seen Katie's Bhagavad Gita offering that she did. And she, like, her colors are pink and orange, quite clearly, like Bhakti Rose is pink and orange, right? But then the Bhagavad Gita, that session that she did was purples and sparkles, because she pulled that she pulled the inspiration from her pile of Gitas, you know, and that's where she got that inspiration from, and an image that she loved that she found. Okay, so that's where that came from. But it was still very much Katie Rose, Bhakti Rose, but it was a completely different color palette. So the golden threads with that was the sparkles and the style of imagery. Excuse me. The style of imagery. Susie's coming up with a strong, focused, relaxed bush, forest, beach, green, orange, brown, beautiful Tibetan singing bowls. Love it. I can see that. Yeah. You guys are creating, just with these words, you're creating such a beautiful vision, even with just the words that you're using and popping in the chat. And you can see how the words can really tell a story over an offer and a brand as well. Okay, so keep all these notes and keep these journals, this workshop here, because this is going to really help you when it comes to writing copy, writing your captions, and being a little bit more creative with how we're writing as well, which I know we'll dive into in copywriting with Katie.
Can I just quickly ask something?
Yeah.
How do you put across something strong without, like
Muscles.
Yeah. How do you put that across?
How do you put that across? So think about things that represent strength that aren't muscles. Okay, so what are some things that come to mind that represent strength?
Bridge.
Pardon?
A bridge.
A bridge. Good, good. What else? What else? Think about some things and try and think of those things that
Tree. A tree, yeah.
Tree. Breath can be strong. The wind can be strong. Mother Nature is strong.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
In general, like that all kind of comes into Mother Nature. What else is strong? So think about what represents strength that's not necessarily a guy lifting weights. Calm sandstone. Sandra's got calm sandstone, minimal home, natural textures of my home, stylish, classic, love it. Tara's got earthy oranges, reds, browns, greens, and pinks. Anything root, sacral, heart chakra, textures, embroidery, hand painted, yeah, beautiful block prints, vintage, worn, beautiful. Trudy's got greens, dusk, pink, rough, natural, gorgeous. Some really lovely things there, and I'm conscious of time, so we'll keep moving through. But now what you can do is start to, and this is your homework from this session, is with all of this information, bringing it all together and creating a bit of a vision board for your offering that we first talked about in the very beginning, and then see how that can work. And you might be sort of most of the way there with it because, you've already got the offering happening and you've got this happening. But this is how you can then come to create a beautiful sales page that's going to be unique and different, and how you can then create your copy for your content for your social media. And when you're selling that particular offer or program on social media, everything you do is going to come within this little brand bubble. Does that make sense? Has anybody got any questions?
So would you suggest we do it like a collage on Canva?
If you want to, yeah. You can do a collage.
Yeah.
Pardon?
That would be a way of
absolutely. You can definitely do a collage on Canva. You might not need to do that as well. Like you've got all your notes here, so it might just be enough for you to have your notes, and then you can start to bring different aspects onto your into your offer and your sales page. You can use these words to help write your copy and sort of start to bring it all together. For example, you've got the words joyful, calm, how are they going to translate into your copy that you're writing and the imagery that you're using? Because the imagery, and I've chatted to a couple of you that are in the Shakti Roadmap about your websites and things last night, and strong imagery and beautiful imagery will really stir up people's emotions and really get them into that whole energy of wanting to purchase and come on board as well. So it's important that your offering has, your branding has that. It's the words, it's the imagery, and then it's the offer. It's those three things that will come together to really create a strong offer. Trudy looks like she's typing there. Has anyone got any other questions? Love, love, love the collage. Beautiful. What's Lisa got? Burgundy, rose, dark blue, dark teal, mustard, yellow, brass, salt lamps, the forest, crystals, mala beads. Love it. Mouths are strong. They are. Mouths are strong. Lips. Shay?
Loving this so much.
Oh, of course you are.
I'm like, I don't need to do a collage, but will.
I don't need to do it, but I will. I know, because it's fun.
I'm,
Don't let it be
I'm,
busy work, though.
Yeah.
Make sure it's pushing you forward.
yeah, right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I felt like my words initially were a bit wishy-washy, and now I've got like fierce, unshaken, like it's a reckoning, there's revolution, and I can picture myself like holding stones in my hands, like the strength and Goddess Kali, like but in the
Yes.
ocean. So
Yes.
yes, love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, great. Great. I love that, because the other thing that I find personally that I struggle with when I'm creating an offer and a brand and whatnot, and I always struggle with this, I get really distracted with what everybody else is doing. And and that's one of my big things that I keep, that I really want to, I guess it's one of my, one of the pillars in my methodology is that, it's coming within and really looking within your own self and your own world and your own environment for inspiration, and to find that and to get really clear on the words that we use, the images that we use, the branding and whatnot, because it's really easy for you to look at what everybody else is doing and think, oh, she's using a sun, I might use that, or she's using glitter, I like that. And that's totally fine, because it's all inspiring, and you can definitely pull aspects, but it's when it starts to really create, it sort of waters down your own essence and the own in the brand's energy, and it waters down the whole vibe of your offerings, if that makes sense. And that's why I love doing this bit of a practice when I'm sitting down to create, and just being so much more intentional, because we spend a lot of time on the offer of what, which we need to, like the actual content of the offer, like we spend a lot of time on that, which is great. It's like, I'm going to teach about, sadhana, I'm going to teach, nadi shodhana, I'm going to teach this, all of that sort of thing, which is great. But it's just as important to, not let the branding sort of fall as well. It needs to sort of match that strength, and it kind of strengthens the offer.
Yeah, for me, this has actually clarified the offer as well. Yeah, like made it a bit less wishy-washy and more like, no, here we are. We're doing this.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Yeah. And I think sometimes we do it unintentionally as well. Like we kind of, we just sort of go, oh, yeah, I like that color and I like this and I like that. But, like, why? Like, what is that bringing? What energy is that really bringing? What does that mean? And there's lots of books on the psychology of color and the this and the that. And that's all, nice to know. But it's going to, and Katie talks about this a lot as well. It's like when you create what is alive in you, what's resonant, what is resonant within you, that's when it's really going to sparkle and be unique and different, which is what we want. Absolutely. Any more questions or insights from today, and then we will wrap up. All good? Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. For those of you watching the recording that couldn't make it today, please send any questions that you might have to myself. I'm more than happy to answer. I am in the WhatsApp chat for Bhakti Business, so Katie and I are in each other's chat groups just to, keep in the loop with everything that's going on everywhere. And working together. So definitely drop it in the WhatsApp chat, or you can message me privately as well. That is absolutely a-okay. And for those of you also that are watching the recording, please feel free to share with us as you workshop through this little bit of a branding offer, your branding offer. Please feel free to share with you what you've uncovered and what you've experienced and found, because I'm sure everybody will be here cheering you on. It's always nice to share it with everyone else. All right, ladies, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll chat soon.